Valentine's Day is coming up, and you should be romantic all year round, but especially on this day. Now, Brandon just got back from the South for the first time, so he's got a recipe that incorporates the South for me and some of his cooking expertise. So, whether you want to cook alone and surprise your partner, or something fun for you to do together, he's got something for us all. So, what are we doing today, Brandon?
Well, I wanted to do something we could do together, but also that's something that's quick and easy that you could do to surprise your partner if you wanted to do that too. But you know, we're together all the time, so it's a little hard to surprise you.
Well, that's true, even though most of the time you don't let me in the kitchen. Not that I'm complaining.
Well, today you do get to help me.
Alright.
So, we're gonna go ahead and make something that incorporates a little bit of seafood, because I know that we were just down in the South, and they love their shrimp down there. So we're doing a shrimp pasta, but I like to have a little bit of liquor in almost everything I do, so we're gonna do a bubbly champagne shrimp pasta.
Ooh. That sounds good. Alright, let's get started.
Alright. So first off, we're just gonna go ahead and dice up some shallots and some baby heirloom tomatoes that I got for this. I like using the heirloom tomatoes just because they have a better flavor, they're a little bit more fun and colorful too. So I got mostly red because it is Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
So we don't want to make these too small.
Okay, so we're just gonna take the heirloom tomatoes and cut them into quarters?
About quarters, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so then we'll do some shallots as well.
Okay.
And shallots are very similar to onions if you've never cooked with them, but they do have a little bit more of an intense flavor. So, for a recipe like this where we don't want to have a lot of onions bulking up the dish, this will give us that flavor without all the extra volume.
Okay, so this is going to be a little light. I know most of our southern recipes, everything's covered in salt or butter, which I absolutely love, but you know, we're starting to get back into beach season, so we have to start worrying about our figures again.
Very true. So this does have some heavy cream in it, this recipe, just because everything in the South is covered in cream or butter or something. So I had to use a little bit of that from when we were down there.
You call it heavy, I call it love.
You know, well, the champagne will thin it out a little bit and give it a little bit more of a gay cake too. So now that we have our shallots just roughly chopped.
Okay, now how many shallots are we going to use for this recipe?
The amount I'm making is just going to be for the two of us. So we're going to go ahead and use about a half a cup of shallots to a cup of the heirloom tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're also going to throw some capers in. We're going to use about a tablespoon of those.
Okay.
And all of this is going to get sauteed together, and then we're going to pull that and go ahead and start sauteing the shrimp dish too.
Alright, well let's go ahead and do that.
Alright, so we just got our shallots in the pan. We're going to go ahead and saute those for just a few seconds until they start to turn translucent.
Now what temperature are we going to saute at?
We're at high right now, just because we want to get a good little brown on everything. And then it's all going to fully cook when we go ahead and simmer it with the cream and the champagne in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so in go our baby heirloom tomatoes. Now that that's going, go ahead and add our tablespoon of capers. You don't want to use too much because they are very strong. They have a lot of flavor. Okay, and while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and throw our pasta in. And I have the water salted, just so that it actually, what salting it does is make it reach a higher temperature, so your pasta will cook better.
Now, does it matter what type of pasta we use?
No. You can use whatever you have on hand, but for this I'm just going to use fettuccine. I like the way it has a little bit more body to it. It'll pick up the sauce better. But you can use angel hair, you can use penne, whatever you want. After just a few minutes, we're going to go ahead and pull this off.
Oh, good already. So, how do you know when it's ready?
The tomatoes will start to get softer, and the onions will turn translucent. So really, we're just wanting to heat it through. Everything's chopped up so finely that it's going to cook real quick.
Okay.
So now that that's off, we're going to go ahead and take the same pan, add just a bit more olive oil.
Okay. And a bit means?
About a tablespoon.
Okay.
Just to coat the pan. We're going to grab our shrimp.
Now, are these a specific type of shrimp? Or?
For these, I'm just using, they're already peeled, deveined, but they're uncooked.
Okay.
You can go with whatever size you want. For pastas, it's normally a little easier just to have like a medium or a small size, but I like to be a little bit more for presentation, so I went with the jumbo. All right, so we got that oil hot in our pan. We're gonna go ahead and add the jumbo shrimp in.
Okay.
Because we all know how much size matters.
Now, they're just raw, there's nothing on them. We have our olive oil and the pan that we just sauteed in.
Correct.
Okay. Now, does it matter how many shrimp we use? Is it really just how many you want?
It's really how much you want. For this recipe, I'm gonna use about 10 to 12 ounces, just because we're only doing it for 2. But scale it up, scale it down. You just want to keep about as much as you're comfortable with for the amount of people you're cooking for. Okay, so you're going to leave them, like I said, these are jumbo, so probably for about 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds on each side, then flip them over. Shrimp cooks real fast, so you got to be careful. Okay, so now that we've got our shrimp perfectly sauteed, our pasta's been boiling this whole time. We're gonna come back in, add back the tomatoes, shallots, and capers to the shrimp. And then we're gonna hit that with a cup and a half of heavy cream. So this one is a little bit heavier, but again, like I said, everything in the South is. And then we're gonna turn this down to low. And come in with the fun part, champagne. So we're gonna use 3 cups of champagne for this recipe.
Save the rest for me.
Of course. And then we're gonna let this simmer until it reduces down to a creamier consistency. Alright, so now that that's had a chance to simmer for a few minutes and have our pasta already drained and ready, I'm gonna grab our shrimp.
Nice and creamy.
I'm just gonna go ahead and pour that over the pasta. And we didn't rinse the pasta after we strained it because the starches that come out of the pasta when you cook it, if you rinse them, those all wash away, and those actually help all of the sauces adhere.
Okay.
So draining the pasta will actually make the sauce not stick as much.
Okay, so just straight to the colander and into the bowl.
Yes.
Perfect.
Now, if you want, you can top that. I'll just throw a little bit of we're using fresh shaved Parmesan and Romano, and a little bit of fresh parsley.
Okay.
So just sprinkle that on top real quick, and I'm gonna grab us a couple plates.
Nice and creamy. I don't know how much, but can I really go wrong with topping here?
Nope, it's garnish.
Alrighty.
Alright.
That looks delicious.
Now we have our champagne, we have our pasta. Go have a nice quiet dinner. Sounds good, baby. Mwah. Thanks for joining us, guys. To be held tight, I realized that there was supposed to be broken. You won the prize right before my eyes, yeah. I like the way you touch it, opened up the